Kansei. Welcome. Hello everyone. My name is Dave. I'm going to show you the ancient art of Metis beaded popsocket making. This tradition goes back many years, maybe 4 or 5 when popsockets came out. Anyways, I'm joking. I'm going to show you how to make a beaded popsocket. This is in preparation for this GDI 40th anniversary conference that's coming up. Excuse me, I sound like I am rough because I've got a cold, but it's still gonna be fun. So I'll show you what I got here. So here's some of my ideas. This is my first or second, or I don't know, whatever, it doesn't matter. This is a beaded popsocket on brain tanned, home tanned moose hide I got from a trading post in L'Orange. So if you can look carefully, I traced the circle design off a popsocket. These come off. Placed it over there, traced it in pencil. And then what I did was I used a piece of paper and a pen and a pencil and some tracing, and then I drew some sample things. Popsockets are really small, and your beads are kind of like big, really, for this small area. So it's important to like design something that you can actually do that suits your ability level and also suits the size of the project. So a large 5-petal flower is possible, but if you're a beginner, it's going to be difficult to fit it all in. So I decided to use one of my existing designs that I made a few years ago. I really like this kind of thistle-inspired design, and I modified it by drawing it really tiny. And I like the way it looks. There's some other ideas. You can try them if you'd like. I freehand drew it onto there, and I picked out some colors. And typically I like to have my beads a little more organized than just these little baggies, but these are from work. So I'm gonna have white as my main background color of the stem. I'm going to have green leaves with a blue point, like that. Or I might reverse it and have blue leaves with a green point. We'll see how it goes. And then for the thistle flowers itself, they're gonna be this shiny purpley color. And then I'm going to do something with this yellow. So I'm either gonna do half and half, or I'm going to do like an X pattern maybe. You'll see, I'll try it out. I like this color, I like them going together. So this original one is like a circle with this like bunched top, but I am going to just do small circles on this because of the size restriction. So play along at home, give it a try. Okay, so I've already got my needle and thread set up, and I've already started this beadwork. So I'll just show you a few stitches as I do the other one of these little leaf stem things. So starting from the back, I'm going to poke up through as close as I can to the bead next to the mark there. Pull my thread all the way through. Just adjusting the color a bit here. There we go. So you can see it a little better. So I pull my thread all the way through. I have strung on the 2 beads that I want for the stem. You can string on more than 2 beads, but I wouldn't recommend going more than 5 if you're just a beginner. And if you're a little better, you can maybe do 7 once you get some experience, but anything more than 7 gets quite hard to handle, I find. So using some tension in the thread, I slide the beads down to the bottom where I want them to sit, and I'm happy with that, I think. It's not quite the same as the other one, that's okay. It's a plant, it's not perfectly symmetrical. And let's take a look for a second. Yeah, all right, we're gonna adjust that down. Okay, so I've got my beads on the material where I want them. And then I'm going to do something called overshooting, which means I'm putting the needle in, not directly like touching the bead, super close to it, but a little bit further on so that it has some room for the bead to move around. And as I tack it down, it'll stay in place. 2 beads is quite hard to manage. There we go. So again, at this point, I make sure the beads are laying as I want them, because once I sew them down, they're a lot more difficult to take off of the material. So at this point, I can always go back and undo the work I did easily. So I'm gonna come up in between these 2 beads on one side, and then tack them down. Over the top. On the other side, this is between the gap between the 2 beads. I don't know if you can really see that on camera. And then I want to keep these beads tense, the right tension, so come up again where I started the beads, go through both, like that, and then down again with just a little bit of breathing room, and pull it through, making sure I don't snag my own thread. There we go. So those should sit nicely. That's the basics of my design so far. So once I finish off one color, I usually tie off the thread, and I'll either continue using the thread or get some new one if it's getting short. The last thing you want to do is sew down to the last 3 inches of your thread, and then you've got to try to tie a knot with almost no thread, and that's no fun. Just extra hard for yourself. So for most projects, I would use like an arm's length of thread, which is quite a bit, because you'd be sewing a fair number of beads, and it's nice to have extra thread. In this case, I use less because it's such a small project. I'm not actually sewing that much. So generally a shorter amount of thread, I don't know, 1.5 to 2 feet long is often enough. A lot of people, when they're beginning, try to like basically like hold the needle up and then stab the thread through it. That's like much too hard to do. So what I do is I just pinch the end of the thread in my fingertips like that, and then put the needle onto the thread. And usually it doesn't take too many tries, but it will today. If you cut your thread at an angle, it can often make a difference. This is a braided poly thread, I think, or nylon. It's not my favorite. Frays pretty easily. So if it hasn't worked in 2 tries, let's start fresh. I hope you can see that. There we go. So I do a single thread, which means the thread is one, just single, I don't double it over, but I give myself about a 3 or 4 inch tail, and I kind of pinch it together like that. I'll tie a knot at the end, but when I'm sewing, I'm always trying to feel that I've got 2 pieces of thread at my finger. Otherwise, if you only got 1, you're probably just gonna pull the needle off your thread and have to thread it again, which seems like a lot of work. Knotting the end, I just kind of do, I think, a knot I learned while fishing in the Athabasca River growing up. Like, twist a few times and go through the hole that you made and slide it down. The tail is like, I don't know, 1/2 inch or less. I try to cut them relatively short so they don't get tangled up in the back of your work. Moose hide's really nice to work with because it's an organic material. It's got lots of flex. It's really soft and supple because both sides have been scraped. This side was smoked a little more than this one. And this is a really nice piece of hide. So I'm going to start with the next color, which will be probably do green leaves. And so I'll start with the outline of the leaf there and go to the point, which will be blue. So I'll include that. I'll have a row of green, I'll pick, and then the blue. I'll go to the point there. And I'll do the bottom of the leaf over here. And then I'll start filling it in. So when I do the outline, I want to make sure it's big enough that if I'm going to fill it with something, I have enough room for those beads. So I tried to draw this big enough. And the hardest part is doing the outline. And so you want it to be crisp and exactly what you want. When I'm filling, I try not to overstuff the beads, otherwise it makes everything look uncomfortable. And then once I finish that, I'll start on these. And there you have it. That took me, 30 seconds tops? Okay, a few things to talk over here really quick on what I showed you in time lapse. I started here with my first 7 beads. I didn't finish the top entire leaf in one go. So I sewed those down, tacking each one or each other one, and then I put my needle and thread through all the beads, and then I didn't sew it down. I put the 2 more beads on. That's how you keep these nice continuous lines. So I went down there and then I tacked both beads there. Then I worked on the bottom. Went from the inside to the outside, using my thumb to shape it. And I tacked down almost every other one, but the first 3 I did. When I poked my needle up here, I wanted to have it a little more to the left, but I missed. So I just ended up sewing that one down. If you end up your thread is too far to one side and you try to go between a bead, it's too far away, it'll skew your beads and twist them, so you don't want that. It's better to sew more beads down accurately than have less stitches and crooked beads. Once I finished that, I strung them all through so they're all nice and tight together. And then I did the fill beads. I originally strung on 5 beads here, but that was too many, and so you don't want to ever jam up an interior of a beaded piece, because if I could jam 5 in there, but it would push this bead out and it would push this up, and so the nice curves of my leaf would be gone. I'd have a really bulging leaf. It doesn't look good. So I did that, and then into here I could just fit 2 little beads in there. Part of this is just having some experience knowing how big to draw your leaves so you can fit 2 rows on the inside. I like the way that worked out. I think it looks nice. And I'm going to work on the second bead next. Well, I think that's all I'm going to do for today. I've got some other work I need to do, but I'll start the next time with these 3 flowers. And then from there, I think I'm gonna actually outline this in a circle. Then I'll cut it out and I'll do the edging. From there, if you do buy any of these Popsocket things off Amazon and you try to glue it on, you have to sand this down to make it rougher. And I'm using some leather and suede glue. Apparently this dries clear and doesn't soak through fabric. I had another sample around here somewhere. This is one I previously did, and if you look carefully, there's no glue that's come through, but I didn't sand the back, so it started out like this and it just like peeled right off, so always sand the back. Anyways, Marcy, thanks for watching. Have a good one.